Republic Act 10173, Data Privacy Act of 2012.
So let's start with the Data Privacy Act, no? So Data Privacy Act is a Republic Act 10173. Okay? So kailan ba ito nag-start? So the Republic Act 10173 or the Data Privacy Act was passed on August 15, 2012, but nagtook effect lang po siya noong September 9, 2016. So, yun. So, from 2012 to 2016 talaga yung tagal na hinintay, no? For it to take effect. Okay, sige. Tapos, it is a comprehensive and strict privacy legislation to protect human right of privacy, of communication, while ensuring free flow of information to promote innovation and growth. So, can be seen in Section 2. Okay, so hindi naman po kasi pwede na we will keep our privacy, no? Kasi importante siya with growth and innovation. Like, since the day you were born, okay, so marami na po tayong data na naibigay. Like, for example, kailangan natin magpa-rehistro ng name natin sa National Statistics Office. So, ikaw na bagong panganak, nakapag-share na ng iyong information. Like, si parents mo, both parents, no, nag-share ng information about you for you to be registered as a citizen of the Philippines. Then after that, syempre nag-aral ka. So, you've also provided your information sa school for you to be admitted and to become a student of that certain school. Hanggang sa pagtanda mo na, when you go to college or to university, you've also provided your data and information. Okay? So, hindi talaga siya ma-avoid, no? Because the right to privacy is one of the most threatened rights of man living in a mass society. So, kahit nga sa pagkuha ng mga government na issued ID, no? So we also have to provide our information. And also, sadly, ito din yung naibigay natin doon sa mga online lending apps that naabuso. Okay, so yun. So yun yung mga mali na nagawa natin, no, during the time, but we totally understand because it was the time of desperation talaga, and with all the economy going down, so we have to look for ways to survive, and one of it is to yung pagkapit sa OLA. So hindi natin alam na may mga downside pala yun. Most especially yung violate nila is our data privacy. Okay, so for tonight, we will learn about it and ano yung pwede natin gawin on it. Okay, so privacy communication and correspondence shall be absolute except upon the order of the court. So yung privacy of communication talaga, guys, hindi talaga siya it is dapat ano siya, super private. Except lang if yung korte na mismo yung nag-order na mag-wiretap sila or they do surveillance on you, yun. So, only the court, no, is exempted. Any evidence obtained in violation is not admissible for any purpose in any proceedings. So, for example, gusto mong manghuli, like, for example, si Mister, may something kay ganito, tapos gusto mo siyang hulihin. So, hindi po pwede that na-obtain mo yung information ng palihim or hindi alam na na may kinuhanan ka ng video. So, it's a violation. And hindi yan siya tatanggapin kahit na sobrang heavy pa nung evidence mo, hindi siya admissible for any purposes in proceedings. So that is in Section 3, Article 3 of Constitution. Yun. So, guys, even in marriage, no, a person does not shed his or her right to privacy as an individual. So, si Mr. or si Mrs., you have the right to say no if in case they were trying to invade your privacy. So, hindi din pwede yun. So, that is Zulueta versus Court of Appeals, no? So, may kaso na about it before, no, in marriage. Okay? It shall be unlawful for any person not being authorized to any private communication to wiretap or use a device to record, overhear, or intercept. Hindi rin po pwede na i-wiretap po kayo. Okay? So, wiretap, base dati, yung mga communication like phone, naka-wire eh. Kaya may ginawa ding act, no, on wiretapping law. So, yun. So, hindi rin siya pwede na may mag-surveillance or mag-record po sa inyo. Okay, so for example, when you call a hotline or pag tinatawagan kayo ng mga OLA agents, no, or if you're contacted by a telco or your credit card company, before they start or before they proceed with the verification, they will advise you that the call may be recorded for training purposes. So, yun, I am sure na na ano nyo na po ito, na experience nyo na. Like, before we proceed, I would like to advise you that the call may be recorded for your security or for training purposes, ganun. So, actually, protection din po nila yun. Okay? So, kasi if a private communication is being recorded and you do not agree to be recorded, no, it is a violation of wiretapping law and you may file a case. So, for example, if hindi ka nag-agree na, no, I don't want to be recorded, so you can just simply hang up or just tell the other person on the line that, no, I do not, ano tawag dito, agree with this. So, yun, I have to end the conversation. So, guys, it is also their protection, no, dun sa mga, like, for example, yung mga companies that are trying to contact you. So, protection din nila yon kasi in the future, like for example, nag-proceed kayo sa call, no, and you were informed that the call is recorded, tapos in the middle of your discussion, nag-away kayo, tapos nagmurahan kayo and stuff, no, so they can use it against you because you've agreed to be recorded in the first place, so it can be used against you if for example in the future there's going to be a case or something. So yun. Okay, so yun. So I hope I'm not that fast. Beb, fast ba ako mag-discuss? Not yet.
Kettlebells lang.
Okay, sige. So feel free to ask questions anytime, Beb, if you have questions. Okay? So,
Sige. I have one.
mhm.
So, di ba parang download tayo ng OLA?
Mhm.
Nag-allow tayo ng permission. Pero merong description sa OLA na yun kung anong data lang ang kukunin nila. So, ano ba yung mga malimit na nilalabag ng mga OLA na to sa data privacy natin?
Sige. Maybe I can answer that in the later days kasi
Sige.
later days. Maybe I can answer that later kasi meron diyang parang may mga ano tayo kasi like for example, sino yung nagpo-proseso nun, ano yung mga tawag kasi sa kanila is personal information controller. So we will know more of that later. Okay? Sige. So yun. So going back, so any person, so sino lang yung pwede, yung parang exempted na kahit hindi nila alam nasa surveillance sila or what, or they're being wiretapped or listened to. So any person suspected of a crime, terrorism, conspiracy can be tracked down, tapped, listened to, or intercept, and record conversation. This discussion shall only be granted by the authorizing division of the Court of Appeals. So, a law enforcement agent or military personnel may, upon a written order of the Court of Appeals, to secretly wiretap, overhear, and listen to all forms of communication of suspected terrorism. So, dalawa lang yung pwede. Yung any person suspected of a crime and suspected suspected of terrorism or any crime, basta meron po siyang authorization letter from the Court of Appeals. So, RA 9372 po yan. And Section 16, RA 11479. Okay? Okay, so yun lang yung sa privacy of communication. So, let's moving on to the real deal or yung topic natin talaga for tonight, which is the data privacy. So, ano ba yung data privacy? So, data privacy is the right of an individual not to have private information about himself disclosed and to live freely from surveillance and intrusion. So, very simple lang siya. It is karapatan ito ng isang individual na not to have the private information, na yung private information po niya ay hindi po ma-disclose sa kahit kanino man, like in public, no? So, dito pa lang guys, talagang sobrang, sobrang violated na, no, ng mga OLA agents yung sa data privacy natin. Okay, so, yung scope po nito, yung scope po ng Data Privacy Act is this act applies to processing of all types of personal information and to any natural and juridical person. Okay, so person created by law, like company, establishment, agencies, etc. So, yung information and to any natural, so yung natural na tinutukoy po dito is tayo. So, for example, if may in-expose tayo na private information, so that's us. And pag sinabi namang juridical person, ito naman yung person na created by law and o yung mga company or establishment, agencies or schools, ganon. So, if involved ito in personal information processing. Okay, so processing. So, ano ba yung processing ng data information natin? So, refers to processing is in Section 3 of the Data Privacy Act, no? Refers to any person or any operation or any set of operations performed upon personal information, including but not limited to the, number 1, collection of data, recording, ang pag-organize ng data, ang pag-store ng data, ang pag-update or pag-modify ng data, retrieval ng data, consolidation, the use and the erasure of destruction of data. So, ito yung mga, yung pag-operate, no? So, like for example, if nag-download ka ng, yung app, yung OLA application, so, i-collect nila yung data mo, they will record you, yun. So, pasok ito, no, sa processing ng data or yung pag-collect ng data po natin. Okay, so, yung sample po ng data breach na ito is like posting of personal information online without the permission of an individual. Also, yung pag-post ng mga minors na included dun sa post, no? So, it needs permission from guardian or parents. So, marami tayong mga victims na nakaka-experience nito na pinapost yung mga anak nila. Yun. So, it's a sample of breach of data. Also, yung pag-access nila sa mga unauthorized access sa mga phone books, no, kahit hindi mo siya nilagay doon sa during your application, and even yung gamit na ay pag-access ng mga messages, ng mga gallery, ganun. So, hindi din po yun pwede. So, it's a sample of data breach. Okay, so yung question mo kanina, Beb, about yung parang they ask to collect your information, 'di ba? Parang ganon. And hindi nila dinisclose 'yun, like total, kasi they really have to disclose kung ano yung gagawin nila dun sa data. Even yung pag-discard ng data after na magawa or magamit ito for its purpose, so kailangan din niyang i-disclose, which is not happening with with OLA, diba? So yun. So ano pa yung maituturing na personal information? So this is in Section 3G. So personal information refers to any information, whether recorded or in a material form or not, from which the identity of an individual is apparent or can be reasonably and directly ascertained by the entity holding the information. Okay? So, when put together with other information, will directly and certainly identify an individual. Okay? So, example ng personal information is name, age, address, email, phone number, and etc. etc. So, for example, nagbigay ka ng personal information mo like name. Okay? So, name lang siya. So, syempre, for example, pangalan mo, Kikay. So, maraming Kikay sa mundo. Diba? So, pero, naglagay ka pa ng age. So, parang mas-specify ngayon yan. So, Kikay na 18 years old. Tapos, Kikay na 18 years old na taga Manila, for example lang. So, nagbigay ka kasi ng address. Tapos, Kikay na 18 years old na may address na Manila at may email na kikaybautista@gmail something. And then, naglagay pa ng phone number. So, parang collectively, it directly, or parang yung information na yon collectively, nagtutukoy sa isang tao lang. Yun. So, that is identified as personal information. Okay? So, let's move to personal information controller. Okay? So, sino ba itong mga personal information controller? So, in section 3H, no, refers to a person or organization who controls the collection, holding, processing, or use of personal information. Okay? So, ito yung personal information controller ay yung mga organization or yung mga companies na nagko-collect or nagko-hold ng mga information na, let's say for example, an applicant, ganon. So, including a person or organization that instructs another person or org to collect, hold, process, use, transfer, or disclose personal information on his or her behalf. Okay? So, including din yung person or included din yung person sa organization na nag-head or nag-instruct sa other collector to collect and hold or process an information. So, sample ng mga personal information controller are, let's say, government agencies, no? NBI, school, credit card company, and more. And of course, no? OLA. So, sila yung mga example ng personal information controller. Okay? So, meron tayong like, for example, meron kasi akong parating nakakita, Kikay, no? Sa mga post, like sa page natin, no? Like, may na-receive akong text, ang sabi daw, ipapablock ako sa mga ahensya ng gobyerno, sa Pag-ibig, sa NBI, or hindi ako makakalabas sa Pilipinas, di ba? May na-experience ka nun, Beb? Yung parang may mga threat na, yes, di ba? Yung parang may mag-threat sa'yo na, ang hindi pagbayad ay pagkakaroon ka ng criminal record sa NBI, no? So, ika-clarify po natin yan, no? Na kailangan or you need to have a criminal case na to be recorded or parang na magkaroon ka ng hit sa NBI. You need to have a criminal case, guys. So, hindi yung civil case, ha? Like yung mga, yung sa atin, no? This is not a criminal case but a civil case, no? Unless if may deception or nagbigay ka ng mali information, like yung mga Ola farmer ka, ganon. So, ibang kaso na yun, it's criminal na yun. Okay? So, paano yung process? So, for example, may magkakaso sa'yo, so police or direct filing sa fiscal. And then, pag final nila sa fiscal, it will be for hearing, no? So, may mga preliminary investigation, and it also requires counter affidavit, ganon. Tapos, if makikita ni fiscal na may probable cause, no? Fiscal will file the case, and that's the time you will be issued a warrant of arrest. Also the time that you will get a hit from NBI or police. So, pag may na-receive kayong message na sinasabi na, papunta na kami sa bahay nyo, may dala kaming warrant of arrest, ipapahuli ka na, may kasama akong police, or ako, si attorney, ganito, meron ka ng kaso, ganyan. So, guys, let's clarify that, no? Hindi po totoo yun, like 100%. Okay? Kasi, yun nga, yung na-mention ko, no? ifa-file pa po ito sa fiscal and maghihiring pa po. And may mga preliminary investigation pa po yun. And it requires a counter affidavit from you. Okay? So, let's clarify that, Kikay. Kasi paulit-ulit tayo, ulit-ulit tayo to educate them that these text messages are not true. Diba? So, yun. So, walang kaso, walang hit sa NBI, makakalabas ka pa rin, makakagala ka pa rin sa Southeast Asia, sa Hong Kong, sa US, or saan. Okay? Unless if you are a criminal or have been deemed as a criminal.
Hello, Beb.
Yes.
Sabi mahina daw yung audio.
Hello, how about now? Hello? How about ngayon, Beb? Mahina pa rin ba?
Yeah, mas malakas.
Okay, sige. So, baka I have to... Okay. Sige. Sorry guys. Medyo mahina. Bitawan ko kasi yung yung sa mouth, yung sa speaker nung headset. Ano ba tawag dun? So, parang piece. So, yun. I hope it's okay na. Sige. Okay, so... going back dun sa ano natin. So, yun, guys. No criminal record, walang warrant of arrest na binibigay lang ng mga OLA agent. Okay, so ano naman po yung privileged information? So, nasa section 3K po ito. So, privileged information refers to any and all forms of data which under the rule of court and other pertinent laws constitute privileged communication. So, meron naman po tayong tinatawag na privileged information. So, ito po yung, let's say, doctor-patient confidentiality, client to lawyer na, confidentiality din, confession of an individual to a priest. Okay, so, and then the filial privilege and the marital privilege. So, ito hindi sila pwedeng mag-testify against you, for example, if you're a daughter or a son, you cannot testify against your parents or yun. So, filial privilege siya. And even your husband or your wife cannot testify against you din. So, it's a marital privilege naman yun. Unless if kayong dalawa mismo yung involved or may kaso. Yun. Okay. So, ito, napoprotektahan din ng privileged information yung, for example, yung sa COVID. So, yung COVID patients, no, is protected by data privacy. Kaya, hindi pwedeng i-publish yung name nila. Kaya, if you can remember, during the kasagsagan ng COVID, sinasabi lang na si COVID patient positive, victim number 1, number 2, passed away, ganyan-ganyan. So, hindi pwedeng i-disclose yung information nila or yung name nila. Okay? So, guys, iba pa yung, meron tayong personal information. Iba pa yung sensitive personal information. So, medyo mas mabigat po ito. Kasi if compromised or breach, mas mabigat po yung kaso, yung violation, and yung imprisonment. Okay? So, may kaso na po dun sa pag-breach ng personal information. Mas malala po pag sensitive personal information. So, ano po ito? Yung age, yung race mo, yung ethnic origin, your health, your education, your marital status. Ito po yung example ng sensitive personal information. Your genetic and even your sexual life. Okay? So, even your sex life, guys. So, this is a sensitive personal information. Any proceeding, no, for committed the disposal of such proceedings or sentences of the court issued by government agencies po is also a sensitive personal information. Like, for example, may mga kaso-kaso ganyan. Hindi po yan pwedeng i-post sa public or i-release sa public kasi it is a breach of data or it is a violation against Data Privacy Act. Okay? So, hindi pwedeng ipalabas yung mga kaso-kaso, ganyan-ganyan. No? Pwede kayong kasuhan nun. Like yung parang example nung warrant of arrest or nung parang invitation from ganito. So, hindi po pwede yun. Okay, so guys, ano yung penalty, no? Like, for example, kasi parang, bakit kaya parang hindi natatakot yung mga agent na mag-post sa atin, ganyan. So, baka wala naman masyadong penalty yung Data Privacy Act. Meron po guys. So, may penalty po yan, which is nasa Section 25. The unauthorized processing of personal and sensitive information shall be penalized by imprisonment ranging from 3 to 6 years. Okay? So, mahaba-haba din po yon guys, yung 3 to 6 years. And a fine of not less than 500,000 but not more than 4 million pesos. So, yan po yung fine. Okay? Imprisonment ranging from 3 to 6 years and a fine of not less than 500,000 but not more than 4 million pesos. So, yun po yung penalty niya. Okay? So, ano kaya yung mga right ng isang subject or data subject? So, ano yung mga karapatan natin as a data subject, no? Okay? So, ano yung rights natin? So, okay. So, we have the right to be informed whether personal information pertaining to him or her shall be or are being or have been processed. So, kailangan tayong i-inform that we are being processed or yung information natin is being processed na. Okay? We have also the right to be informed na nire-record tayo or nire-record yung conversation natin. Okay? Or nire-record tayo like parang proof of life ganon or proof of identity, no? So, we have the right to be informed. We have the right to be furnished the information before the entry of his or her personal information into the processing system of the personal information controller or at the next practical opportunity. Anong ibig sabihin po nito, no? So, kailangan muna tayong inform ng lahat-lahat, no? So, which is, ito yung talagang paglabag ng OLA because we are being deceived. We were informed, diba, na this is just to verify if parang we will be able to assess if you're eligible for something like this and like that. So, kailangan ma-inform tayo, may karapatan tayo kung anong gagawin nila dun sa pagproseso sa system. Okay? The description of, we have the right to know the description of the personal information, the purpose for which they are being or are to process. So, ito din yung mention ko kanina, no? Kailangan din nating malaman or kailangan din nilang or sabihin sa atin na para saan or anong purpose nito. Scope and method, we have the right to know the scope and method of the personal information processing and the recipients to whom they are or may be disclosed. So, dapat alam din natin kung kanino madidisclose yung information na ibinigay natin or up to what level. Okay? So, we did not sign up to be disclosed on social media or public pages, no? So, hindi natin yan inask to be put there or parang nilagay yung information natin doon. Hindi yan po pwede. Okay? So, ano pa? So, yung method din, yung pag-utilize or for automate ng access, no? If the same is allowed by the data subject and the extent to which such access is authorized. So, hindi din yun pwede. The identity and contact details of the personal information or controller or its representative. So, guys, you have the right to know din yung identity or ng contact details nung nagkuha or ng yung personal information controller or ang representative. So, like, we can ask kung sino yung agent na kinakausap natin, sino yung binibigyan natin ng information. Guys, we have the right to ask for that. Okay? And we also have the right to know the period of which the information will be stored and the existence of the right to access correction as well as the right to lodge a complaint before the commission. Okay? So, pwede rin tayo mag-ask, hanggang kailan niyo po ba isa-store yung information namin? Like, forever ba? Like, 100 years after? So, may right din tayo to know kung hanggang kailan nila isa-store yung information natin. We also have the right to dispute the accuracy of error in the personal information and have the personal information controller correct it immediately and accordingly unless the request is vexatious or otherwise unreasonable. Okay, so meron din tayong right na mag-correct ng mga errors dun sa personal information na binigay natin. Okay, so we also have the right to suspend, to withdraw, or order the blocking, removal, or destruction of our personal information from the controller's filing system upon discovery and substantial proof that the personal information are incomplete, outdated, false or mali-mali, unlawfully obtained, no? So parang nakuha lang siya unlawfully, so we have the right to suspend it, to withdraw it, or to order the blocking of it. Okay? So, or if it's no longer necessary for the purpose for which they were collected. So, for example, wala ka naman dyan sa, like you're done with that, or wala ka na dun sa system nila, or wala nang purpose kung bakit nag-submit ka noon or dati nung information mo, kailangan, or you have the right to suspend it or withdraw it. Okay? Like for example, sa process po ng verification natin sa UOVM, this is just to explain this to you guys kasi upon entrance sa or upon pre-membership no sa organization, we don't post or hindi kami nagpapalatag sa mga GC. It should be direct from victim to verifier nila. Then after that, dinidiscard na po namin yung information, and we even ask the parang mga new members to once they're done with the verification process, they need to remove or they need to unsend their data and information because we don't store that. Okay? Hindi po pwede yun, ay parang malitong si ganito paki-pull up nga ng information niya kasi magre-rest back tayo, ganun. Walang ganun po dito sa UOVM. Okay, so we also have the right to be indemnified for any damages sustained due to such inaccurate, incomplete, outdated, or false, or unlawfully obtained, or unauthorized use of personal information. Guys, pwede tayong mabigyan ng danyos sa mga damages na to. Especially yung unlawfully obtained na information or unauthorized use of personal information, guys, pwede tayong mabigyan ng danyos. Okay? So, yun. So, what is the extent of liability? If the offender is a corporation, partnership, or any juridical person, the penalty shall be imposed upon the responsible officers, as the case may be, who participated in or by their gross negligence allowed the commission of the crime. Okay? So, yung company, yung negosyo, or yung OLA, we can, file a case against them, and not just to that person or the collector, or the, tawag dito, yung nag-process ng information natin. So, if alien naman, like for example, mga Chekwa, ganon, so they can be deported, no? If it's in the government naman, yung like for example, may breach of data privacy, no? So, perpetual disqualification ito, guys. So, they can no longer work in the government agencies. Aside pa po ito dun sa penalties and yung pagkakakulong na penalty. Okay? Sige. So, sino yung nagpoprotekta sa atin, about our data privacy? So, the National Privacy Commission, or the commission that shall be attached to the Department of Information and Communications Technology, so, and shall be headed by the Privacy Commissioner. Okay, so sila yung inatasan ng gobyerno natin to provide us para sila yung our National Privacy Commission. So, sila yung magpoprotekta sa atin against sa mga naglalabag sa data privacy. Okay? So, ano yung pwede nilang gawin, no? So, they will receive complaints, no? Institute investigation. They facilitate or enable settlement of complaints through the use of alternative dispute resolution processes or adjudicate. Award indemnity on matters affecting any personal information. Prepare reports on disposition of complaints and resolution. Kaya, we always advised, no, to report the to National Privacy Commission kung ano man yung mga reklamo natin against dun sa mga OLA, because they're the one na kailangan mag-receive ng mga complaints natin and mag-institute ng investigation. Okay? So, yun, may mga National Privacy Commissioner tayo, ganyan. So, also, the Commission shall ensure at all times the confidentiality of any personal information that comes to its knowledge and possession. Okay? So, lahat po ng mga reklamo po ninyo should be confidential. So, they need to ensure at all times na confidential po lahat ng mga idinudulog na mga reklamo or information na idinudulog sa kanila. Okay? So, aside from the Data Privacy Act, no, meron din po tayong Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. So, that is Republic Act 10175. And this refers to computer or a computer network as the electronic medium in which online communication takes place. Okay? So, yung Cyber Crime Prevention Act of 2012 naman, Beb, sa next topic na lang natin to, like in the future, kasi medyo mahaba din siya. And, baka kulangin tayo sa time at hindi na ako makauwi. Okay, so, the penalty, no, of cybercrime, yung paglabag, no, sa cybercrime Cybercrime Prevention Act naman is imprisonment of 6 years and 1 day up to 12 years naman yon. Okay? So, marami din po itong saklaw, no? So, kailangan din natin ng some other time for the topic on cybercrime prevention. But, I hope you've learned a lot with this topic for tonight, which is the Data Privacy Act. So, yun, Beb, yun lang yung masishare ko for yun lang yung masishare ko for tonight. Or pwede na tayo mag ng mga questions, ganon.
Oo. Salamat pala sa mga nagsisend ng stars. May kompetensyang nagaganap.
What?
GC4 against GC5. So nagmumura po ngayon ng GC4. Ewan ko ba't may ganong bagay. Pero thank you so much, guys, sa mga nagsend po ng stars.
Oo.
Yan sa amin. Sa mga hindi naman po makapag-send, ito naman po ang
Char. Joke lang po 'yan. Baka sabihin po ninyo na may mga bayad or something. We're just here to help everyone, no, as much as we can. So, we do this para sa kapanatagan ng loob nyo and para sa knowledge na din, because knowledge is power.
Yes, tama. Okay. So, Beb, thank you so much doon, no? Ang dami nating natutunan and importante talaga yung alam natin kung ano yung rights natin.
Yes.
And marami yung nakitang question kanina. Marami natin siya.
Sige, Beb, ikaw na maghanap kasi hindi ako marunong mag-navigate.
Ako, Beb, pareho tayo. Sabi ni Joyce Veranyo, nice topic, ma'am. Kadalasan nilalabag ng mga agent ng OLA naman kasama sa terms hindi kasama sa terms and condition at agreement yung ginawa ng mga agent nila.
Yes. So,
pahayaan sa lahat ng contract, sabihin pang ginawang co-maker at sila yung sumisingil. Diyan naman po, totoo naman yan. Kasi basta nag-allow ka ng permission pag download mo ng OLA, na-access na talaga.
True.
Na-access na yung phone book, yung messages, gallery, sometimes yung calendar mo, pati mga appointments mo, nakukuha na rin ng OLA. Yun kasi yung way ng OLA manila. Yun talagang ginagawa nila kasi ka talaga sa mga tao para matakot ka, ang harasin ka, para makapag-bayad ka. So, ano naman, Beb, yung masasabi mo sa question ni Joyce?
So, yes, very obvious na it was, unlawfully, parang violated our karapatan or our data privacy. So, yun. So, isa yan sa mga example na may paglabag, kumbaga, dun sa batas. So, if we will be able to identify kung sino po yun siya, yung nag-post or anong company yun, if you are confident that you know that company, then we can file a complaint kasi that is very valid. Especially, although it just not yung parang nilabag yung data privacy mo, pero pinahiya ka din, which will fall in cybercrime naman siya. So may paglabag din naman yun, babe. So that's another case. Ganun. Kasi right now nagiging medyo marami tayong mga very rampant siya kasi wala pang control and nagtatago kasi sila sa mga dummy accounts and we cannot identify who are they kasi sometimes multiple din yung mga apps na nasalihan kaya we will not be able to identify. So they live in that setup. Kaya sila nagkakalakas ng loob kasi they are not identifiable at the moment. So but in the future, I am confident that mahuhuli din sila. Yun.
Okay, so meron pang isang question dito. Nahihilo talaga ako. Saan ko ba nakita? Nawala na naman yung comment niya. Sabi ni Domino, napanood ko yung mga nirate sa mga OLA agents. So dapat pala lahat sila nakakulong na dapat sa dami ng violation nila. Opo.
Yes.
Talaga. Go, Beth.
Yes, oo. Dapat lang po. Kailangan nakakulong na sila kasi alam na natin kung paano nilalabag yung data privacy natin. So, dapat nakakulong na sila. Yun nga lang, yun yung na-mention ko kanina, Beb, yung mga hindrances kung bakit hindi natin sila natutukoy or hindi talaga sila na-pinpoint as someone kasi they live in parang dummy accounts. So, we will not be able to identify. And, yun. So, hopefully, talaga, magkaroon tayo ng yung Pilipinas ng sophisticated na parang software or something that they will be able to track them down and pin them down. Ganon. So, let's have faith in our government that they will be able to do that. And the only thing we can do right now is to, educate everyone with the current laws na meron tayo that should be protecting us. But sadly, hindi siya na-apply agad-agad because we have processes. And what we need to do is to be more proactive in siguro yun nga yung pag-report and yung pagdulog sa mga kaukulang ahensya to help expedite yung pagkatanggal sa kanila or yung paglabag nila. I mean pagsugpo sa kanila, ganun. Yun.
Ayun. So, kaya po nananawagan kami sa inyo, maki-join kayo sa trending party. Sa darating po na linggo, tayo po ay mananawagan na naman sa ating mga ahensya ng gobyerno. At sana mag-trend tayo, kahit sandali lang, para in that way maka-spread tayo ng awareness sa mga taong nasa Twitter. Kasi they don't have idea kung ano ba yung OLA po. Beb, malayo daw yung mic.
How about now? Malapit na talaga siya sa dila ko.
Pasensya na po. Low class na class flyer.
Oo. Oo. So, yan.
Ayusin po namin next time.
Yes po. Pasensya na po talaga. Ito lang po yung makakaya namin for now. But, we all started from scratch. So, maybe in 2 to 3 months, sobrang ganda na ng setup namin and mas magiging interactive tayo. For now, medyo ito lang muna yung afford ng bulsa natin.
Okay. Pasensyahan niyo na po. So, sana po meron kayong natutunan kahit konti. So, ayun, Beb, meron ka pa bang ibang i-share?
Right now wala pa, and I hope that nakiklear naman, no. So I just want to encourage everyone na if ever gusto niyo mag like may mga questions pa kayo or you want to clarify, no, you can we have an email, okay, so you can email your concerns to admin@uovm.org, no, para yan, ma-help din kayo namin or mag-guide kayo namin. Again, we are not tawag dito, hindi po tayo attorney. But we've researched, no, kasi isa lang yung gusto natin din, yung matulungan yung mga victims. And we will be able to provide or makaka-help kami, ganun. So, yun.
Okay, thank you so much, Beb. Last question na sasagutin natin. May tatanong, totoo daw yung ultimate _9. Please, kung burag-buragang yan, override or modify, hindi po totoo. So, huwag po tayo maniniwala. Wala makaka-delete po ng record mo sa OLA. Unless yung kausap niyo po ay, or OLA talaga. Yung mga OLA lang naman yung nakaka-delete talaga ng record natin. Wala
Oo, yes.
iwasan niyo po yun.
Oo, kasi I would just like to add, no, Beb, about that. Kasi they are private entity, so private ano sila, meron silang mga software na pina-purchase or meron silang mga sariling software and it is not accessible. Kasi meron akong one time na nakita sa general chat natin na nag-question siya na if na-register na ba yung number niya, mabubura daw ba yung information niya dun sa OLA na system. So, the answer there is no. Hindi po siya mabubura kasi it's a private system, no, firmware, and even the government cannot access it unless meron silang warrant na, or for example, merong mga raid ganon, and they will confiscate those computers, no, so that's the only time that they will be able to access it, and they will see your they will see your information in that system, yung system nung company. So that's the only time. So yun, hindi talaga siya nabubura, guys, so huwag kayong maniwala sa mga bura-bura, okay? Beb.
Ayun. So, wag po maniwala sa bura-buragang. Maraming question dito, no? Siguro, sinagot namin to, abutin tayo ng 10 years. Hindi na makakauwi si Nikki sa bahay nila. So, ikakat na po natin, and then I'll talk to, Anika kung gusto niyang mag-live para maituloy natin yung discussion. Mag-ano pa po tayo, marami pa pong susunod na mga topics that will help you. So, nandito lang po kami, and we will do our best to somehow, hindi rin naman kami makakapag-magic na mawawala lahat ng problema nyo. But somehow, we are a community that will help us, that will help everyone sa maabot ng kaya namin. Tama ba yung term ko? Yun. Yes.
Sige. So, I guess that's it, Beb. Thank you so much for having me here. I hope maraming nakaano.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Beb.
Sige.
And thank you sa lahat na manood and sa lahat na nag-send ng stars. Really appreciate that. Yung mga questions nyo po na hindi namin nasagot, I'll try to answer na lang po sa comments. And kung may mga clarification pa kayo, mag-email din po kayo sa amin sa admin@uovm.org. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. Bye.